Welcome to our YouTube channel dedicated to exploring the latest insights and opportunities in the world of finance and investments, with a special focus on currency revaluation, gold and silver investments, cryptocurrency, and make money online opportunities, and more. If you're interested in staying up to date on the latest developments in currency revaluation, particularly the Iraqi Dinar and other currencies, best to subscribe to this channel. Please note that the content on this YouTube channel is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the opinions expressed on this channel are based on our own research and personal experience. We strongly recommend that you do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. Also, just before we go any further, this channel has a weekly giveaway of 100 Dogecoin. To enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, like this video, and watch this video until the end, because if you don't, you will be automatically disqualified from the giveaway. We will be sharing the random hashtag keyword daily somewhere in the video, and then comment hashtag the keyword with no spaces in between in the comment section. Good luck. Now, let's proceed with the latest Iraqi Dinar news and intel today. Please take these pieces of information with a grain of salt, and please make sure to do your own due diligence. Before we dive in, if you've been following this journey, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming. When Iraq makes its move, you'll want to hear the breakdown in real time, not play catch-up later. Now, let me just say, the last couple of days have been full of noise, but buried in there are a few really big signals. We've got news about Iraq checking off major boxes for global integration, chatter about how they're handling their monetary reforms, and even fresh reminders about just how close all this feels. Some of these stories tie directly into the dinar's future value, and I'll be unpacking all of it with my own final analysis at the end of the video. So make sure you stick with me. All right, let's not waste time. There's a lot to cover, and some of it could be game-changing. Let's get into the updates. From Intel Newshound Guru Mark Z via PDK article. This week, a parliamentary session is set to approve the popular mobilization law in a new format. I think this one is important. It looks like they have found a compromise with the new U.S. ambassador, Miller, I believe. My Iraqi sources say they now have a workable compromise, a moderate version of this law. A date will set this week. So we are seeing progress. From Intel Guru Bruce via Wiser now, we know we got rates on bank screens on both Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong, and they're decent rates on the banks, so they're going to be even better at the redemption centers than they are at the banks. From Intel Guru Frank 26, the fact that there was a powerful article that came out yesterday giving the definition of the float. It said that your Iraqi citizens' currency is about to be part of the reason they're talking about the float. It's because internally they have done a good job to educate you through the Asrafrak education of the monetary reform. They even did a good job collecting the 3-0 note with the cards and accounts they've opened. I believe you are close to 90% retrieved inside of Iraq of the 3-0 notes. Then they will retrieve the rest of the 3-0 notes outside of Iraq with the float. This is a genius plan. From Newshound Guru Militiaman, there is a powerful amount of data that shows Iraq is fully integrating into the global financial system. There's no doubt in my mind, no doubt whatsoever. If you do your research and get a good, proper analysis of what it really means, and you have a collective of it, it'll make you really smile big time. From Newshound Guru Claire, article. The Ministry of Commerce announces the completion of 7 major files related to Iraq's accession to the World Trade Organization, WTO. Quote, the Ministry of Trade announced on Monday that the current government's efforts to secure Iraq's accession to the World Trade Organization, WTO, noting the completion of 7 major files. Iraq is now in an advanced position, paving the way for fulfilling the requirements for full membership. From Newshound/Intel Guru Walking Stick, Aki is going crazy right now because he's one of the Iraqi private banks in the U.S. The private banks went online for international transactions. That is about to occur with the dinar globally. These private banks are waiting for you to come in and exchange your 3-0 notes. These private banks, by going online and making these claims, showed a lot of faith in Iraqi banking system and security of the banks of Iraq. From Guru Nader, from the Mideast, question, what is the mood of the people of Iraq? Everything is going good, but it's still a lot of work to do. Banks in Iraq, the financial system in Iraq, will be the #1 in the Middle East and North Africa. They're working on it. They build a whole new financial system. It takes a while to do that. From Intel Guru, Frank 26. The investment side of the budget is hiding 12.2c that has the new exchange rate. The operational side of the budget takes care of their daily needs, their daily bills. They're hiding it, especially from Parliament, not necessarily from the world or from the Iraqi citizens, but from the thieves that want to ruin this monetary reform success. From Newshound, Intel Guru, FNU, LNU, Perplexity AI report. The Iraqi Dinar, IQD, currently operates under a fixed exchange rate system. With its value set and controlled by the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, the currency does not freely float on global forex markets. There is no official indication that Iraq plans to switch to a floating rate in the immediate future. There is a continuing debate about the IQD at a fixed rate or a float. My personal belief is that a fixed rate is necessary at the beginning of the Iraqi Renaissance because many things need to be controlled. From Intel Newshound Guru Mark Z via PDK, we have a bit more news than I was expecting today, out of Iraq being a holiday and all. But most expectations are for tomorrow by most of my contacts. No one knows when notifications are coming, but there's a tremendous amount of anticipation for September 2nd. From Newshound Guru Caparoni, article, American magazine Iraq quietly re-enters international trade. Before ending with few more updates, the hashtag keyword for the 100 Dogecoin giveaway is education. Comment down below which updates you like, think is valuable, or get you most excited. You can be the lucky winner if you like, subscribe, and watch the main content of this video. This will be for this coming Sunday's giveaway, and the winner will be announced in one of the Sunday's videos, so you do not want to miss it. From Newshound Guru Militiaman, are they going to pass the hydrocarbon law when Iraq is at 1310? They could have done that 5 years ago at 1166 or 1450, but they never did. They haven't done it yet at 1310, 1320. They haven't. Why hasn't the Port of Sion pumped oil yet? Why hasn't Article 12.2c of the 2023-2024 budget schedules been presented to the Parliament yet? Because they don't need to know the rate until the last moment. That's my view. From Newshound Guru Claire, article, Iraq has about $100 billion in its covers, with held reserves and citizens left out of the equation. Urgent. Quote, according to observers, ultimately, any financial figure is worthless unless it is translated into living reality. While the state celebrates its ranking on reserve lists, citizens are not looking for a ranking, but rather an outcome. Will this money be used to protect the dinar? To support prices? To build factories? To free the market from dependency? Or will it remain a mere mortgage asset, from which Iraqis see nothing but slogans of autonomy and headlines in international reports? And finally, the last update is from Intel Guru Frank 26. I am not a proponent of the GCR. I am not a supporter of a currency global reset, but I'm not stupid enough not to consider it. This year, because of Trump, to see what he's doing with all these currencies around the world, wow! And they're freaking obeying him. Which is even more wow. Before I roll this out, quick heads up. Hit subscribe so you catch my final analysis at the end of every episode. When Iraq makes its move, you'll want the breakdown in real time, not secondhand tomorrow. Alright, now that we've walked through today's updates, here's how I connect the dots, in my opinion. The headline for me is Claire's WTO scoop. Iraq's trade ministry says 7 major accession files are completed and the country is in an advanced position. That's the dry, technical stuff. Customs valuation, SPS TBT standards, services schedules, agricultural support tables, the trade regime memo, and more that makes markets trust you. Why it matters for RVSRI. The WTO playbook overlaps with the IMF's demands for transparency, convertibility, and rule of law. In other words, this is the institutional scaffolding you want in place before you overhaul a currency. It also aligns with what we've seen: ministries harmonizing standards, corridors reopening, and the narrative shifting from someday to we're ready to integrate. That's not price hype. That's systems readiness. Next, Marx's note about a compromised version of the PMF law moving with the new U.S. ambassador is bigger than it sounds. If they lock a workable, moderate formulation, you lower a major political risk premium that's hung over budget execution and investor flows. Translation: smoother budgets, fewer headlines, more predictability. Markets don't need perfection, they need predictable. Pair that with Caparoni's Iraq quietly re-enters international trade theme, and you get a clearer picture. The trade channels and the legal framework are being prepped for higher stakes participation. That's exactly when a central bank wants the currency framework aligned with reality. On the monetary side, Frank 26 has been hammering the citizen education angle, the float explainer, the Asrafrat classroom, the steady drumbeat of teach first, move second. Do I have a document proving 90% of 3-0 notes inside Iraq are already retrieved? No, that figure is not something I can verify. But we do have hard signals that rhyme with that direction. The CBI keeps reporting currency in circulation, CIC, edging down toward the 100 trillion IQD band from the 102 trillion range year over year, and official language has emphasized that reducing issued currency supports price stability. Fewer notes on the street plus more deposits on rails equals easier logistics if you're going to introduce lower denominations and raise purchasing power. That's the exact sequence you'd expect if the goal is deleting zeros from the rate, not lopping zeros off the notes. It's consistent with the way serious monetary authorities prep a regime change, tighten, digitize, educate. Now, reserves and buffers. Claire's other reminder that Iraq sits around $100 billion in reserves matters because that's your shock absorber. If you adjust the regime, whether you manage a crawl, peg to a basket, or stage a controlled float, you need depth to defend the move while markets test it. Healthy reserves plus WTO compliance plus a narrower street gap are the trifecta that tells me we're not in infancy. We're in execution. Let me also address two narratives floating around, pun intended. First, Bruce's rates on bank screens. Interesting if true, but unconfirmed. Without screenshots, bank memos, or counterparties willing to go on record, I park that in the maybe column, not the evidence column. Second, FNU-LNU's AI source take that Iraq won't float and must stay fixed. Perplexity, or any AI snippet, isn't a monetary authority, and Oliver Wyman isn't the policymaker, CBI is. What is on record? A sustained program to compress the parallel premium, shrink CIC, expand compliant correspondent banking, and educate citizens on what a different exchange rate environment looks like. That's not a proof of float tomorrow, but it absolutely keeps the door open to a different regime when the checklist is green. Where does that leave RV/RI readiness? In my view, closer than at any time since 2003 because the plumbing is finally being finished. We've got 1, WTO files buttoned up and praised as advanced. 2, a political compromise brewing that reduces headline risk. 3, measurable monetary tightening via CIC reduction and digital on-ramps. And 4, reserves thick enough to support a transition. Add in the long telegraphed budget mechanics. Yes, folks love to whisper about 12.2C on the investment side. And HCL timing that never seems to finalize at 1310. And the pattern is what it's always been in reforms. Line up the rules, then adjust the price. Could this all still take sequencing and careful pacing? Of course. WTO accession still has bilateral Q&A and market access steps. The float versus fixed debate is a policy choice, not a rumor mill vote, and every one of these levers needs to be pulled in the right order. But nothing I'm seeing suggests years away. If anything, the ministries are signaling alignment. The boring documentation is done, the guardrails are up, and the communication strategy inside Iraq is active. With Soudani needing tangible economic wins before his term winds down, the political incentive and the technical groundwork finally rhyme. So my bottom line, strictly my opinion, Iraq isn't dressing the set anymore. They're taping the show. WTO files finished, a pragmatic security law compromise on deck, CIC trending down, reserves near triple digits, and citizen education in full swing. All of that points to preparing to increase the dinar's value, not indefinitely defending 1310. Time will always be policy-driven, but the architecture looks more complete than ever. And that's my final take. Moreover, we posted a breaking news the other day. Iraq just made a major move toward joining the World Trade Organization by completing comprehensive technical responses, an essential step that signals a shift toward full international integration. While this might seem like a routine headline, it's actually one of the strongest signs that Iraq could be preparing to move off the program rate and take the dinar global. In this video, I'll break down how this development ties directly into the RV/RI process, how it connects with IMF Article 8 compliance, and why this moment could indicate the beginning of the end for the 1300 rate. If you've been watching for the clues and waiting for confirmation that Iraq is ready, this is the update you don't want to overlook. Most people will miss the significance until it's too late. Please go ahead and check it out by clicking on the link on the top right of this video, as you don't want to miss this. Lastly, we will continue to post videos about the recent events and articles supporting the changes taking place in Iraq, so you don't want to miss them. Also, don't forget, please drop a comment below with hashtag and the keyword and let us know what you think. If you like this content and like to support this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified when new videos are uploaded. See you on the next video. Bye!